welcome to all of you. So presenters today happen to be Sakshi Agarwal, who's an interior designer by profession. Then a very important person who was supposed to join us today, but due to a certain personal emergency in his family, he could not be here. That's Mr. Sumit Agarwal, who's an interior designer and a landscape designer. And me, myself, I'm Seema Kukreja. I'm an interior and a brand consultant. As it has already been informed to you, the topic for e-Charcha today happens to be bathrooms and toilets. I would now like to hand it over to Sakshi, and she will take you to the first half of the presentation. Over to you, Sakshi.
Thank you, ma'am. So first we'll go through the types of toilets. Next slide. Before that, I would like to clear the difference between the powder room and bathroom. So powder room is basically the half bath or the guest bath. It only has two of the four main components that a bathroom should have, typically a toilet and a sink. So the powder room consists of a toilet and a sink. And a full bathroom has all the four elements, that is toilet, sink, bathtub and a shower. Depending on your needs, a full bathroom may also include a linen closet, double sinks or a makeup station. Other bathroom types include the three-quarter bath, commonly fitted with a toilet, sink and shower, and the rear quarter bath, which only has a toilet. So there are various types of toilets, and we are mostly confused which one to buy. So the first one is one-piece toilet. This is the one of the toilet styles where the toilet tank is connected to the bowl, making the whole toilet one unit of ceramic. The clear advantage of these toilet types is that the size of the water tank is typically smaller and there is no service in the middle, so it is easy to clean. The second one is two-piece toilet. This is probably one of the most common types of toilet that is spread across the continent. Opposite to the one piece, the water tank and the bowl are separated, and the tank has a larger volume to store water. Therefore, it is more durable than a one-piece toilet. Then we come to the wall-hung toilets. Now, mostly we prefer these because they occupy less space. So if you're short on space, a wall-hung toilet is ideal. These toilets are mounted on the wall with the tank hidden inside the wall. Therefore, all you see is a bowl and flush plate. As you might expect, wall-hung toilets feature a superior modern design. Therefore, if you are thinking of renovating your bathroom, you might go for these toilets. Then now coming to the smart toilets. So finally, if you want the most comfortable and functional toilet, consider intelligent upgrades. From heated seats to automated flushers, toilet comfort and functionality have come a long way over the years. Though these toilets are a bit expensive, but if you want to enjoy the luxury, you can take them. So now I'll brief you to the sizes and layouts. We'll start with the basics. The most common size of the bathroom is 5 feet by 8 feet, that is 40 square feet. A 5 feet by 8 feet is the most common dimension of a guest bathroom or a master bathroom in a small house. If you happen to have the standard size small bathroom, these are the two different layouts you can consider. So in the first layout, we can see that in front of the door there is a wash basin, then toilet seat, and then the bathtub. So basically, the toilet is divided into three areas. That is the dry area, then semi-wet, and the wet area. So we try to keep the wet area at the far end of the toilet, that is the shower cubicle or the bathtub. Oh, sorry. In the second layout, we see that we have shifted the door, and then there is a wash basin, toilet, and a shower cubicle. So we have clear space after the main door. So this is the layout. How can we include all the fittings? The wash basin occupies the 3 feet space. Then WC occupies the 2 feet 6 inches, that is the standard. And then there is the bathtub that also occupies the 2 feet 6 inches. And there's another layout in which the countertop of the wash basin is continued over the seat, which can be also used as a ledge to keep your toilet seat. Next slide. So now this is about the ergonomics of bathroom. The basic sizes have been described here. The toilet seat occupies about 2 feet 6 inches space, and after the toilet seat, the moving space should be around 1 feet 6 inches to 1 feet 8 inches. The height of the vanity should be 2 feet 10 inches. You can also vary it according to the height of the person, but the standard says 2 feet 10 inches. Then we have various sizes of the bathtubs, but the length of bathtubs range from 4 feet to 6 feet. So depending upon the size of your bathroom, you can choose one. Then coming to the next slide. So here are different types of layout. How can we place our fittings? Better 3 in a row. With this plan, you commit to the idea of one plumbing wall, but then extend the bathroom and hopefully widen it a bit. You can easily get two nice sinks in a more public area and then have a pocket door into a toilet and a shower room. This allows for two people to use this bathroom at once, making it great for a shared kids bathroom with some built-in privacy. So by placing all the fittings on one wall, you are saving your plumbing cost, and it also looks neat. Next slide. The opposite wall bathroom. From a space point of view, this one usually takes up more room, but it provides a far more generous layout. It will cost more as there's more plumbing work and overall square footage, but it provides flexibility of how the space is used. Here in the layout, we have placed the door in the center so that the area is divided into two. Uh, we have the liberty of having two vanities and a small storage beside the vanity, and one wall occupies the WC and a bathtub or a shower cubicle. And in another one wall is taking up the whole bathing area, and the another wall has the WC and a wash basin. So now we'll move on to accessible toilets for disabled or elder people. So there are some things we need to keep in mind if we are designing toilets for physically challenged or aged people. The first thing, we can fit a grab rail. A grab rail will help provide added reassurance for elderly relatives who have mobility issues and can be vital for those with certain disabilities. It may be a simple case of adding rail to the wall adjacent to your bath for helping getting in and out, or perhaps next to your shower. So as you can see in the picture, there's a handrail attached to the main door. We also have placed the handrail near the WC so that if one gets up, he has something to hold on to. And we have also placed a horizontal handrail beside the wash basin area. Next slide. Take the weight off with a shower seat. For those with mobility issues, standing for a shower may be a bit of a struggle. So why not allow them to take the weight of their feet with a shower seat? There are two options you could choose. It may be an idea to invest in a freestanding shower seat or have to fold down seat installed. As you can see in the picture with we have marked with the yellow box, that is a foldable shower seat. Don't if you don't want to use, you can fold it down and you have a clear space. For the person on the wheelchair, the minimum space, the dia that is required to freely move the wheelchair is 5 feet. So we should plan the layout accordingly so that the person on the wheelchair can move his chair along the along the layout. And in the second picture, as you can see, the mirror is tilted. So the person sitting on the wheelchair can easily see his or her reflection. So this is the picture where we have included all the things for the physically challenged person. We have the handrails, we have a shower seat, and we have a wheelchair space that is depicted by the sign is also there. So we have tried to include everything here. So now we'll move on to the Vastu tips. The best location for constructing a bathroom is in the northwest section of the home, as it supports the elimination of waste. Do not adorn the bathroom door with the decorative statues or items of God. Third point, the toilet should not share a wall with the puja room or kitchen, as it would create a negative vibe in the house. Then the wash basin and shower area must be in the east, north and northeast part of the washroom. One must pay special attention during the placement of the toilet inside the bathroom. It should be placed in the west or northwest direction, as it supports the elimination of waste and toxins from one's body. You can also place your toilet seat facing it. Toilet seats back should be on the south wall. As we can see in this diagram, diagram A depicts the direction in which one is to face while on the commode in the toilet. So there, the seat is placed in the northwest and in the southwest. That means you should be facing the north or the south. And in diagram B indicates the location of bathroom or toilet in a flat. So according to Vastu, the right position of your bathroom in your house is northwest or the southeast. Then I'll hand over to Seema ma'am, who will brief you about the material palette and the latest trends.
Thank you, Sakshi. So now we move on to the material palette. There are a host of materials that are available as far as the bathrooms are concerned. Due to paucity of time, we have chosen to cover three: the glass enclosures, the materials for the cabinets, as well as the various options that we have available in tiles, along with a small quiz. So now, first we'll deal with the glass enclosures and partitions. So the obvious options, as you know, as far as the cubicles are concerned and the partitions are concerned, we can go in for the clear glass, and along with the clear glass, there could be an option for frameless shower door. For a clean, lined and minimalistic look, go for frameless shower doors. These glass cubicles are customized as per the bathroom dimensions. One must use silicone shower seals to waterproof the gaps in the junction of the glass door and the floor surface in order to avoid any spillage of water. Next is, of course, the frame glass door, which as per the international trends currently are really in vogue, especially with a lot of different matte color options. So alternatively, we can consider metal framing for the glass shower cubicle to provide added strength and support to the glass panels and door. For a modern look, the frame can be fabricated in metals like aluminium, steel, white metals like brass, nickel or chrome plated can also be used to give it a classic look. Then there is the option for sliding glass door. You can consider metal framing for the glass shower cubicle to provide added strength and support. For a modern look, as I told you earlier, you can have different kind of the frames can be fabricated in metals like aluminium, steel, etc. The sliding door obviously helps to save a bit of space, and especially for elderly and children, it's a far safer option because you don't tend to, kind of bang into it. Then another option that we have is of the colored lacquered glass instead of the plain glass. This type of glass is available in various colors. Colored lacquered glass should be used selectively as a fixed glass partition. Also make sure that the color you choose contrasts well with the rest of the space and it does not overpower the look of the entire bathroom. Along with the lacquered glass, you can use various textures in terms of a frosted glass or a patterned glass. There could be stained glass, etc. Then bent glass. Who says that glass can only be used to create straight line partitions? Tempered glass can be bent to achieve curved shapes. To achieve curved shapes. However, this type of glass is very expensive and needs to be handled carefully during installation at the site. Then another option is that of glass tiles and glass bricks. Then we also have an option of corrugated glass panels. The corrugated glass panels in this bathroom, for example, create an interesting texture with a ripple-like effect. These panels continue from the floor to the ceiling to give a modern high-end look to the bathroom. Then, of course, we have the options of prefabricated shower cabins, also called the shower boxes. They have a roof and are closed by walls from all sides. They are easy to mount in any place with prepared and installed water inlet and drain. Shower boxes may be round, semi-round, square, rectangular, corner shaped. The dimensions may vary depending on the tray size. Rectangular shower boxes may also be in the size of 80 to 120 to 210 centimeters. Then you have the closed shower cabins, which are multifunctional. Vertical hydro massage as well as horizontal ones, though they are very expensive. They can be done via water jets coming out of nozzles located on the panel fixed on the shower box's wall. Horizontal hydro massage is available only in expensive combined models, which are equipped with hydro massage bathtub instead of a shower tray. Whenever you're installing the closed shower cabins, one has to take into consideration a very important thing, which is regards to the pressure of the water in the house water mains. Also, another thing that has to be taken into consideration is that the multifunctional closed shower cabins, they consume quite a lot of power. Next, we come to the bathroom floorings. Now, bathrooms of our homes suffer constant spillage of water, which makes the floor very slippery. For safety, it is highly recommended to go for a slip-resistant tile that reduces the risk of slipping and falling, and they do not get slippery when wet. Most of the reputed tile manufacturing brands already have a slip rating to the tiles to specify the friction resistance. Usually, it is actually measured in COF or coefficient of friction value of the tiles, where the tiles having a COF value of more than 0.6 are considered to be safe for the bathrooms or other wet areas of our home. Then there are a lot of options that are available for bathroom flooring. I'll be covering a few of them here. To begin with, of course, we have the ceramic tiles. Matte finished or textured ceramic tiles with a COF value of more than 0.6 can offer good grip and slip resistance to the bathroom floor. The pros of ceramic tiles happen to be that they're available very easily in a variety of colors, textures, sizes, and finishes. They're cost effective and hence affordable. They're easy to maintain and clean. The cons happen to be they're fragile, which makes them prone to cracks and chipping. As an alternate to ceramic tiles, we can use porcelain tiles, which just like ceramic tiles, we can consider matte finish or textured porcelain tiles with a COF value of more than 0.6 for bathroom flooring and other wet areas. Now, the pros of porcelain tiles happen to be that they're very strong and durable. Some brands have slip shields added to them, which provides an additional layer to increase the COF value. They're dense, non-porous, resistant to scratches and staining. And again, they're available in a variety of colors to give a lot of textures, patterns, and even the look of natural wood and natural stone. And of course, they're easy to clean and maintain. The cons are that they're very dense, which makes the tiles heavier, and they're more expensive than the ceramic tiles. Just to give you a little bit of difference between the porcelain tiles and the ceramic tiles, porcelain tile has the same color throughout the material. A broken or chipped piece of unglazed porcelain will have a uniform color throughout its thickness. Ceramic tiles often has a glazed surface coloring, so chips may reveal a different color underneath, and that's one of the ways in which it can be checked. The finish of the porcelain is smoother than that of ceramic. You can turn over a piece of loose tile. The unglazed surface of the ceramic tile will feel coarse. The finer grain of porcelain will be smooth to the touch. Then, of course, the main difference which makes the porcelain tiles much more stronger is that ceramic tiles aren't as dense, whereas porcelain tiles are much denser, hence stronger, but ceramic tiles are lighter by comparison. Another option that can be considered for bathroom flooring is that of stone tiles. The rough and irregular surface of some natural stone materials increases the grip on a wet floor by creating an anti-skid surface by breaking the thin film of water into smaller droplets. Now, this material can be installed as slabs or can be machine cuts into tiles depending on the kind of size you're looking for. Coming to the pros of stone tiles, they add a warm bit of, a warm character to the bathroom space. They come with attractive grain patterns. Also, no two tiles are exactly the same. So it depends the kind of lot that you've picked up actually. Natural stone materials like slate, limestone, travertine are available in various finishes. The cons or the drawbacks of stone tiles happen to be that they're highly porous, so it's important to periodically seal the stone to make it water and stain resistant. Delicate flooring material, they can corrode with acid cleaners or strong soap-based cleaners. So obviously you have to ensure that you're using mild soaps to clean and wash them. A few things that can be noted as far as the stone tiles are concerned. Avoid natural stone materials such as polished marble or granite because these materials become very slippery when wet. Consider a honed or tumbled finish for the bathroom flooring. A honed finish is smooth but does not have a shiny surface, while a tumbled finish is highly textured with no shine. So the kind of character that you're looking for, accordingly, the tiles can be chosen. The next is case of cement tiles. Now, cement tiles have a naturally rough and porous surface that qualifies to the basic standards of slip-resistant tiles. These tiles are a great way to impart a vintage look to your bathroom and are available in bold and traditional colors and patterns. The pros of cement tiles are that they're highly durable and they're slip-proof, as I mentioned earlier. They're handmade and are available in a wide range of solid colors or patterns with a lot of modern as well as traditional motifs. It's a sustainable flooring because, like the other tiles, they're not baked in the kiln. The drawbacks of cement tiles are since they're handmade, so there may be slight color variations in each tile. They are porous and need to be periodically sealed to make them resistant to stains and fading. Coming to the bathroom cabinets. Now, of course, there are different kind of bathroom cabinets that can be used. I'll be showing you here, there are 3 examples that I've covered and there are plenty to choose from. As you can see in the first picture, this is a cabinet that has been constructed below the bathroom countertop, where the bathroom cabinets are a combination. Here, they can be a combination of drawers as well as shutters. Also, the cabinets can be installed above the sink. Lot of times, if you are short on space, you can have a mirror and have a depth of 6 to 8 inches behind it, which is just enough for storing your bathroom essentials and toiletries. Or if the space allows, as you can see in the picture here, you can do a beautiful cabinet, as there's a beautiful partition given here for storing the towels. Then obviously, if the space allows, the cabinet can be an individual piece which can be installed in the form of a standalone wall-mounted cabinet or the floor cabinets. What are the basic criteria for selecting materials for bathroom cabinets? Now, bathroom is a moisture-laden area. Hence, all bathroom cabinet materials should be resistant to moisture and humidity. Additionally, the bathroom cabinet material should be strong enough to take the weight of the stone countertop materials like marble, granite, or quartz. The best material for bathroom cabinets, one is supposed to improve plywood for fabricating the basic framework of the cabinet. It is best choice because the material is very stable and highly resistant to moisture. Some homeowners prefer solid wood, but the material is not suitable for the bathrooms, as solid wood has the tendency to expand and contract in the presence of humidity and moisture. Besides that, there are a host of other materials that are available in the form of acrylic sheets, etc., which can be tried and tested. Which material is best suited for the surface finish of the bathroom cabinets? Laminate is the best option for bathroom cabinets because it is highly stain and water resistant. However, it is advisable to go for matte finish laminates. Smudges, scratches, and stains are less visible on a matte finish than on a gloss finish. Avoid wood veneers for bathroom cabinets as they are more delicate than laminate and require a lot of high maintenance. You can also fabricate the basic structure of the bathroom cabinet in plywood and go for glass shutters. Glass gives a modern look and brings an element of lightness within the bathroom. An affordable way to finish the bathroom cabinets is with latex or some oil-based paints and primers. It is better to go for latex paints because they are very less VOCs than oil-based paints. There's a small quiz that we have here. So I would like all of you to please participate. I have shown you 4 pictures here, picture 1, 2, 3, and 4. All you have to do is write in the chat box the material that has been used for the countertops in picture 1, 2, 3, and 4. Govind, we can give them 2 minutes, I guess.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah.
You have to write down in chat box. Great.
Great. We have
Vipul
30
Shah is
responses on
writing.
We have 31 responses.
So it's almost done. I think.
Yeah, 40 participants
Yes.
replied, 42. Yeah.
सबसे पहले विपुल शाह हैं, उन्होंने आंसर दिया वेस्ट जोन से. तो मार्बल, ग्रेनाइट टाइल एंड ऑनिक्स मार्बल.
Yeah, you're audible. Yes.
विपुल शाह जी ने सबसे पहले आंसर दिया है मार्बल, ग्रेनाइट, मोज़ेक एंड ऑनिक्स मार्बल.
What is the last one?
The last one was onyx.
हाँ, ऑनिक्स मार्बल.
Onyx.
बाकी सब ने आंसर्स दिए हैं और देन आफ्टर यश, देन आफ्टर प्रवीण जी ने दिया है, दिव्या जी ने दिया है. सो ऑल 4 करेक्ट आंसर सबसे पहले विपुल जी ने दिया है.
Chalo, let's do a round of applause.
Great, sir, great.
Great. So we move on to the next slide now.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to just walk you through the color trends. So these are the latest color trends as per the Milan exhibitions in as per the 2020 trends that have come up. So the color palette for the bathroom, pumpkin red is something that is really in vogue. So as much as is light yellow, which brings a lot of lightness and a vibrancy, and gives that warmth, that feeling of warmth and sunlight in a bathroom. Then another color which is trending since last year is champagne. Turquoise and green, or a combination of these 2 colors, is really in vogue. Blue with white or light neutral tones. Then as much as all white is in vogue, so much is black. Now with black or using a lot of dark grays, etc., it is very important to cut that with some kind of natural wood, or a very good trend that has really come up is that of adding greenery to your bathrooms. Then the unexpected color. So these are again certain things as far as the color palettes are concerned. I'm just walking you through a couple of slides as you know how you can bring in a bit of dramatic effects and play with color as far as the bathroom interiors are concerned. As you can see in this picture, the obvious order has been reversed. Ceilings, as we know, are often painted white as by default. That's not to say that they can't look stylish. But the effect here, I've taken this picture by a very famous designer, Emily Fournette, has created in this room is by tiling in a dark sapphire shade almost to the ceiling, then continue in blue up and over, which is quite dramatic. Another example here is, as I told you earlier, that here the shower room, the partitions that that have been used basically, so striking blue has been used instead of the usual chrome plating or the black color. Here by adding this yellow small mirror, the frame, which is like really bright yellow, an unexpected flash of brightness has been brought in. So on the whole, the dark colors tend to be enhanced by brights being dotted around. In this scheme, deep blue and egg yolk yellow make a happy match in the combination of wall and mirror. Next is about small bathrooms. Sakshi, actually, you can read this, please.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
So how can we use some storage hacks in the bathrooms? Don't ignore the corners in your small bathroom. From floating shelves and cabinetry to hanging hooks, a lot of storage and display options can be installed on these walls. which would otherwise lay bare, wasting unnecessary bathroom and real estate. As you can see in the picture, there's a corner shelf that has been installed. So we usually ignore these corners, so you can create something and provide a storage area there. Next slide. Every inch of space counts, even on the walls. In the small bathroom interior, a storage closet has been installed in one of the tiny corner, installed in one tiny corner of the otherwise fully used wall, with space to place your shower and beauty supplies and cupboards for the bath linen. Next slide. Freestanding furniture creates space in small bathroom design. As we can see in the picture, there is a towel rack ladder that can be brought in use and moved out if the need for more space arises. Next slide. Trick the eye into seeing more surface area. A way to save space and leave more floor area open and clear is by installing wall-mounted toilet pots, sinks, and their consoles. Then you will see more empty, unused area on the floor. Even if under a fixture, you will still feel less cramped. So as we see, there is a cantilevered vanity. So we can see more floor space, and it also helps in cleaning. We can easily clean below the cabinets. Next slide. Follow the easiest rule in the book with a simple all-white color palette. This works especially well in modern Indian bathrooms, where sometimes there's a very small window for any source of natural light and ventilation. So keeping the bathroom all white gives it a more spacious look. Next one. Use mirrors appropriately. A strategically placed mirror paired with unique play of bright colors and texture make the space look more open and inviting. As ma'am already have discussed before, we have used the space behind the mirror, that is an added 6 to 8 inches to increase the space, storage space. Next slide.
Yeah, latest trends. So again, here we're going to talk about a few international trends which are not color related, but otherwise in terms of the various materials and various other things that are trending. So here, as you can see, green marble, the latest bathroom trend of 2020, green marble is making a name for itself in bathrooms internationally. Matte color. So this is a very, very interesting trend. One of this year's hottest bathroom trends is vibrant, colorful bathtubs, basins, fittings in matte finish. Also, as you can see here in this sink, art has been integrated into the sink, making for a very dramatic piece for the bathroom and giving it a statement of its own. Then waterproof wallpaper. Previously a limited option, best kept well away from water, the advent of new materials and printing techniques is seeing wallpaper patterns weave magic. In fact, Sakshi and I were discussing that, I've been reading internationally on a lot of blogs that wallpaper in the bathrooms has been in vogue for quite a few years now, actually. I have been trying to contact a few sellers here, but I haven't had much luck. So I would really request everyone who's attending the presentation right now that if you're aware, besides vinyl, of other things in wallpapers for the bathrooms, do let us know. Terrazzo. Now, terrazzo is one of the hottest trends, which is continuing from 2019. We all remember our nannies and dadis' ancestral houses, and terrazzo was so beautifully used. Now, this was one trend that we had lost through the years. However, it has made a very major comeback internationally. It's suitable for bathroom floors, walls, countertops, walk-in showers. And as you can see here in the picture, a lot of colors are available. Then another thing that is really in vogue is the statement tiles. Geometric forms and other shapes like hexagonal tiles, triangular tiles are trending this year instead of the common the rectangular or the square tiles, which we are so used to seeing. Metallic accents. You can use metallic accents on cabinet drawers, on cabinet doors, drawer pulls, even plumbing such as faucets and shower heads. Metal provides a very sophisticated feel and even adds visual depth if contrasted well. Another thing which I really wanted to cover today was biophilic design. Now, one of the biggest 2020 trends focuses on adding touches of nature to a space. So one, of course, the most obvious choice happens to be bring in a lot of greenery and plants into the bathroom. Now, which could be real as well as fake, depending on the kind of space you have. Another way in which you can add a touch of warmth and nature into a bathroom space is by including bamboo panels, which can be done in a certain manner so that they don't get affected by water much. Wallpaper is something that I already spoke about. Then obviously you can bring in certain soothing paint tones like whites, grays, and greens, or bring in certain art forms which depict our association with nature. I've just given a slide here to showcase certain plants which can be used in bathrooms. The snake plants, care tips, it prefers a moist habitat and indirect sunlight. So although it copes well in low light and high humidity conditions, you can use well-drained soil and water it regularly. Aloe vera is something which has its lot of properties as far as the beauty and skincare is concerned. Aloe vera prefers indirect sunlight and does not need daily water only when the soil looks dry, and the humid surroundings of the bathroom can really support its growth. Snake plant, they can comfortably survive under low and indirect sunlight. Again, they do not need daily watering. Boston fern care trips, again, it's a very beautiful plant actually. It flourishes in shade and high humidity. It does not require direct sunlight. So there are a lot of other plants also are available, which if you have green hands, you would know, and otherwise you can just venture and look for those things and include a small planter in the bathroom to give that feeling of vibrancy once you enter it in the morning, because that's the first space where we go. Another thing which is really trending this year is minimalistic lighting. Lighting in terms of 2020 bathroom trends is very minimalistic and linear, allowing other elements in the bathroom to stand out. So steer clear of big statement lights and offer smaller, simpler lights like linear scones and integrated mirror lighting. Another option, another trend which we really cannot ignore is that of technology. We had a certain presentation sometime back also to make our homes smarter and how to make our bathrooms even smarter. So integrate smart technology, especially if you're building a new bathroom. Smart toilets is something that we already covered. There are integrated bum dryer, self-cleaning, etc. available. These have been trending in Japan for years and years now, and now they're making entry into a lot of other countries as well. Then, of course, we have the voice-activated lighting, floor warmers are there, shower voice controls, FM radio system, phone receivers. We all are using Google Homes and Alexas in our home, and we can integrate that in a very smart way and make our life much more easier and fun, actually. So this was about the presentation. I hope Sakshi and Sumit has not been here. Govind, we all hope that you all enjoyed this.